Today we're going to talk about the mysterious disappearance of Heidi Planck, a devoted mother who vanished without a trace. Heidi Planck was a loving and devoted mother whose world revolved around her 10-year-old son. Her life seemed to be focused on providing the very best for him, which is why it was so shocking when she failed to pick him up from school on October 20th, 2021. For those who knew Heidi, this was not just unusual, it was unimaginable. The days leading up to her disappearance were filled with strange events, painting a picture of a woman who may have been under a lot of stress, but whose reasons remain to this day shrouded in mystery. Heidi's ex-husband, Jim Wayne, and their son tried repeatedly, over and over again, to reach her between Sunday, October 17th, and Wednesday, October 20th. But neither of their calls were ever answered. At first, Jim was a little bit bothered by her not answering his calls. Maybe there was a simple explanation. But when Heidi did not show up to pick up their son, he knew right then and there something was very wrong. Later, upon reflection, Jim emphasized she would never leave her son. We have a 10-year-old boy at home that's looking for his mother, and we just need to find her. October 17th started like any other Sunday. Heidi went to her son's football game in Downey, Los Angeles. Jim, her ex-husband, when he saw her, he noticed something about her was a little bit off. She seemed kind of antsy, in his words. Despite his concerns, he didn't think much about it at that time. But looking back, that was the last time that anyone close to her would see her alive. That evening around 6:30 p.m., footage caught Heidi walking her dog. Her dog was named Seven. They caught her walking her dog in downtown LA near the intersection of Hope and Flower Street. This sighting alone, it should have been reassuring, but it only deepened the mystery when just 30 minutes later, Seven, her dog, was found wandering alone inside a nearby high-end apartment complex by himself. In the days that followed, friends and family grew very concerned as each one had tried to contact Heidi. They could not do it. No one could make contact with her. It wasn't until October 20th, when she failed to pick up her son from school, that the alarm bells rang loud and clear. Jim, her ex-husband, filed a missing report immediately, and a frantic search started right that same day. Investigators got to work quickly, trying to trace Heidi's whereabouts by assessing the GPS in her car and the location devices that she owned. Now, this is the strange part. All of her electronic devices, the GPSs were turned off, leaving no way to trace the digital footprint on any of her devices. A breakthrough did come in when Jim, her ex-husband, tried to track down Seven, her dog, through the dog's microchip. The dog was found on one of the upper floors of the Hope and Flower apartment complex on the night of October 17th, just hours after Heidi was last seen. Footage from the building confirmed Heidi's presence inside, but strangely, there was no footage of her leaving that building. The building was hosting a party that night, and police believe that Heidi attended that party. In the weeks following her disappearance, Heidi's home was searched, but it offered few clues. Her home was immaculate, and her phone and laptop were left behind, which led to a grim theory that something terrible happened to Heidi at the party, and her body was disposed of in the building's trash chute, which emptied into a dumpster. Police launched a massive search of the Chiquita Canyon landfill, but after weeks of sorting through tons of waste, they found no trace of Heidi. Adding to the intrigue is Heidi's connection to her employer, Camden Capital Partners. One of the managing partners, Jason Sugarman, is embroiled in a financial scandal, accused of defrauding a Native American tribe's pensions funds out of $43 million. Could Heidi's disappearance be tied to her knowledge of these shady dealings? As of now, Heidi Planck remains missing. Heidi is described as 5'3", weighing 120 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing jeans and a gray sweater, driving a 2017 gray Range Rover with California plates U840X0. If you have any information about Heidi's disappearance, please contact the LAPD Missing Persons Unit at 213-996-1800. Again, 213-996-1800. We want you to keep trying to find Heidi for her friends and family. Thank you. Let's take a look into the disappearance of Ieshia Nicole Jackson and a mother's desperate search for her and for answers. On November 4th, 2020, 22-year-old Ieshia Nicole Jackson vanished without a trace, leaving her family in El Dorado, Arkansas, in a state of profound despair and confusion. For Ieshia's mother, who was named Laquita Parker, it was a day that turned her world upside down. She had been waiting for her daughter to come home from Texas, but Ieshia never made it back home. Laquita, she knew. She knew something was wrong the moment she entered Ieshia's apartment. The front door was ajar, and there was this eerie silence filling the space where Ieshia's laughter once occupied. Inside the apartment, Ieshia's cell phone and wallet lay there untouched. It was as if she had only stepped out for a second. But sometimes the seconds become minutes, minutes become days, and days become months, and Laquita still not see her daughter. The El Dorado Police Department quickly confirmed that Ieshia did indeed travel to Texas. But what happened after that remains an unsettling mystery. Captain Jared Prim of the El Dorado Police Department, he shared how difficult this would be because of the 500-mile distance between El Dorado and Houston. That's 500 miles of uncertainty. He stated, "We have done numerous interviews, search warrants, looked for video, you name it, we have done it. We even reached out to the state police to have them take a second look at all of our evidence." For Laquita, her mother, the lack of answers has been nothing short of agonizing. Her mother said, "I have been doing a lot of stressing and crying. It ain't been good," she confessed, her voice heavy with the weight of worry and fear. The silence from the authorities has only deepened her frustration, leaving her to grapple with the unknown as she searches for her daughter. Ieshia Jackson is much more than just a name on a missing persons report. She is a young woman full of life and promise, described by her family as kind-hearted and loving. She stands at 4'11" and weighs about 135 pounds. Ieshia has brown eyes and black hair, a beautiful reflection of her vibrant spirit. Despite these challenges, Laquita, her mother, refuses to give up hope. She knows that someone out there must have something to tell, to talk about, to reveal. The El Dorado police are urging anyone with any information to please come forward. Captain Scott Harwell and Detective Sabrina Williams are leading the investigation, and the department itself is offering $3,000 reward for any kind of tips that lead to an arrest and a conviction. For Laquita, every day without Ieshia is a day filled with unbearable uncertainty. Her daughter's disappearance has left a gaping hole in her heart, one that can only be filled with answers and Ieshia's ultimate safe return. If you have any information about Ieshia Nicole Jackson's whereabouts, please contact Captain Scott Harwell or Detective Sabrina Williams at 870-881-4810 or 870-863-4141. Thank you.